Hi everyone, it's Tallara. Welcome back to Dragon Age Inquisition. We saved the world and put an end to Corypheus for good. However, the work is never done for the Inquisition. There's still lots for us to do, and all of our companions have decided to stick around for the time being. Minus Solus, of course, who disappeared mysteriously at the end of the final quest. But we still have some stuff to do. Specifically, there are two DLCs we need to do. The first is going to be called the Jaws of Hakkon. And that is the one we are going to get started with today. So if we head to our War Council here, there should be a new area for us to investigate. So let's see. First up, we've got ourselves an Inquisition perk. Let's do it in Forces. Oh, this one's pretty good. A methodology developed by an Orlesian blade master and used by chevaliers to analyze their own performance in combat. Grants a 5% increase in XP earned from killing foes. Don't mind if I do. Alright. Oh, we have another one too. We actually have two Inquisition perks. I mean, we did save the world. I guess they figured they would give us a few perks. And let's get the more healing potions. Increase the maximum number of potions the party can carry by 4. That will absolutely come in handy. Alright, so if we head over here to the Ferelden side of the map, you'll see in the bottom left corner there is an opportunity to investigate the Frostback Basin. And this is the area within which the Jaws of Hakkon DLC takes place. As you can see, the minimum suggested level is 20, so it's very much sort of post-game content. And I am level, I think, 22, so we're totally good to get in here. So let's read what this letter has to say. To Ambassador Josephine Montilion. Thank you so much for your early correspondence. I confess it's been difficult to get those in Orlais to take this discovery seriously.
Should I bow whenever you come into the room now?
The ceremony is not for a while. It will be strange to see you and think, there walks divine Victoria. Then let us enjoy these moments while they last, as colleagues.
Nor as friends?
What's this? A breach in decorum?
Perish the thought.
Okay, normally I get mad when they interrupt my reading, but that was actually very cool dialogue. As you guys know, at the end of our playthrough, Liliana was voted to be the next divine, so that was some cool dialogue there with our advisors actually recognizing that. It seems like she hasn't yet been crowned yet, though, so no need for bowing. Okay, I'm just going to start over. To Josephine, thank you so much for your earlier correspondence. I confess it's been difficult to get those in Orlais to take this discovery seriously in light of recent events, but I am positive that scouting the Frostback Basin will yield historic discoveries beneficial to both the academic field and the Inquisition. As a staunch supporter, I am honored to be working in such great company on this historic occasion. Yours most sincerely, Professor Bram Kenrick from the University of Orlais. So we'll let Josephine handle this. She says the University of Orlais has vouched for Professor Kenrick. If he says there is something worthwhile in the Frostback Basin, we should investigate. We've scouted the region and set up camp. Professor Kenrick has the scouts gathering anything they can find. So far, we've uncovered a lot of very old buckles. Hopefully this yields something more exciting. Anyone who comes here should be ready for hostile wildlife and angry Avar. This place is dangerous, says Scout Harding. That unlocks our new area, and we get to gather our party and head to the Frostback Basin. So I'm going to take the usual gang, which is Dorian, Varric, and not Solus, and Bull.
Good to see you again, Inquisitor. Allow me to introduce Professor Bram Kenrick. He's the reason we're out here.
A pleasure to meet you, Your Worship.
Professor Kenrick teaches at the University of Orlais.
I came on an exchange program from Starkhaven. While in Val Royeaux, I've found something incredible. After 800 years, we may be able to determine the final resting place of the last Inquisitor.
What? I studied Inquisitor Emeridem.
The texts say that Inquisitor Emeridem was a dragon hunter who vanished on his last expedition.
Yes, precisely. I see you've read Lautrec's Precursors to the Chantry. Inquisitor Emeridem stepped down shortly before the Nevarran Accord brought the Seekers of Truth into the Chantry. He hunted demons, dragons, and dangerous apostates in a time before Templars even existed.
I'm all for history if it means tracking down the equipment of a famous demon hunter.
I mean, loot sounds good.
Scout Harding, you had me at equipment.
Thought you might like that.
Your scouts have gathered artifacts from the area. They may help us discover what Inquisitor Ameridan was doing.
I have news as well. We've encountered hostile Avar to the north. They call themselves the Jaws of Hakkon. There's also an Avar hold to the east. Unlike the Jaws of Hakkon, they've been friendly so far.
The Jaws of Hakkon?
They're hostile Avar who attack any Inquisition agents or researchers who get close. We've sent soldiers for defense, but the Hakkonites are cunning, merciless, and know the basin better than we do. I'm afraid our men will not be able to hold out long.
Don't worry, I'll take care of it.
I should go.
Be careful out there.
Alright, so this is going to be a very interesting quest, I think. We may find out some information about what happened to the last Inquisitor. Hopefully get some sweet loot, as Harding alluded to. And maybe just find any number of interesting historical artifacts around here. So I want to speak to Professor Kenrick a bit more.
Scout Harding has an impressive team. Her people brought back a number of artifacts.
Harding is a good scout.
If you need something tracked, Scout Harding is your woman.
If only it were that easy. After 800 years, we can't just look for tracks. Barring enchantment, cloth and leather will have long since rotted away. Only metal and stone remain recognizable. Complicating this are recent pieces the Avar left behind, and of course ancient pieces dating back to Tevinter. Fortunately, thanks to some period-specific buckling, I've been able to track our last Inquisitor.
What's this about Tevinter?
You said there were pieces dating back to Tevinter.
Yes, while it's rare to see Tevinter ruins so far south, the Imperium once had an outpost of some sort here. They might have built it as a ritual site. I'm not sure what military value it could have. In any event, it's muddled up the research slightly, but I've accounted for it.
Tell me more about this period-specific buckling.
You lost me at buckling.
You'd think that a buckle was a buckle, but ever since people started belting on weapons, they've been adding bits. One piece here has a dragon engraving. With the alloys of the metals used, it's clearly Tevinter, while this one uses a clasp that wasn't invented until the dawn of the Orlesian Empire. And when it comes to historical research, you might say we have to buckle down.
Okay, so this is what Harding was talking about when she said buckles. Anyway, tell me what you found.
What do you have, Professor?
Everything so far points to the shore not far to the south. There was some sort of battle near the shoreline. They were in a hurry. The scouts reported an island near an Avar fishing camp, but the Avar won't say much about it.
Tell me of this fishing camp.
What can you tell me about the Avar fishing camp?
Not much. It's the friendly Avar, not these Jaws of Hakkon barbarians. According to the scouts, they wouldn't say much about the area. Likely a local superstition.
There was a battle?
What makes you think the last Inquisitor was fighting?
There's a clasp here common to armorlings. It's clearly torn. That only happens from a heavy shearing blow, like large claws or an axe. Then there's the dagger. Silverite, with a stylized dragon pommel and an inscription reading Cordilis. That dagger had to be a gift from Cordilis Draco, first Emperor of Orlais. No one would just lose such a thing.
This guy has a sharp eye, hey? He's picking up on every little clue around here. Alright, I'll go investigate the island.
I'll find a way to that island and see if there's anything useful there.
Excellent. I'll continue to study what's been found. With luck, we'll both find some answers. Also, one of my research assistants, Colette, was investigating an old structure to the north. I'm not certain it's related to our investigation, but it couldn't hurt to check with her.
Alright, so we've got a lot of stuff to investigate, a lot of leads to follow. I gotta say, I didn't 100% know what to expect when we came into this DLC, but I kind of like that it's sort of a research excavation mission. Hopefully we'll find lots of history and artifacts and such. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to try to find a way to get to that island that the professor mentioned. I did notice also that we got a codex entry about this area, so let's see if we can take a look at that before we get started. Frostback Basin. Halvar often arrives around Wintersend, but given the recent weather, I hadn't looked for him, which is why his voice across the market took me by surprise. Lowlander, I was owed a drink on my next visit, and supper, unless you were getting out of your wager. Maybe I was trying to get out of the bet, but I happily paid the bill at the inn that night. I asked Halvor where he'd last traveled, and he said he'd been trading with an Avar hold in Frostback Basin. Then he raised an eyebrow at the look on my face. So I described the stories Uncle told us as children, where brave expeditions get lost in places like the Western Approach, Nahashan Marshes, Frostback Basin. He laughed and admitted it could be a cruel place. He described thick forests, greater than any I've seen, I'm certain, and darkened swamps. His rule for traveling there seemed to boil down to, be wary and alert, because everything can kill you. The wildlife is violent, the cliffs are steep, and you must be mindful of the gods' wishes, here meaning his Avar gods. Of course, the hunting's good, the trade fair, and the Avar hold impressive. But do people really disappear in the forest, I asked? Few lowlanders come through, not sure how many leave after. The last was a joke, but I won't be visiting that hold anytime soon. This was a letter from a Ferelden merchant to his cousin in Highever. The TLDR, this place is dangerous. And by the looks of all of the giant trees around us, I'm sure, yeah, we'll have lots of interesting beasts to discover. Alright, off we go into the forest. Basin Floor is the first area we come across. Clearly, our Inquisition has made their mark here. Wow, look at these statues. Look at these trees. I gotta be honest, when I heard Frostback Basin, I really was expecting snowy. So to see this almost tropical jungle instead is 100% not what I was expecting. It's kind of a pleasant surprise, honestly. It's very, very cool. And clearly an area of Thedas that is not often ventured into. God, there are some noisy birds. What is that thing? A bogfisher. I gotta be honest, I didn't even mean to attack it. I just wanted to click on it and see what it was, but too late for that. I guess we're fighting a bogfisher. I want to get closer. I need to see it. It's like literally a lump. What is this lumpy little creature? This is the first time I've ever seen one of these. Okay. It's dead now. And we have harvested its craggy skin. Dear Lord. So far, other than that lump we accidentally murdered, it's been very quiet around here. I'm worried that it's kind of too quiet, you know? I figured by now we'd come across some sort of plant or animal life that was trying to eat us, but so far so good. Just this beautiful sky as we head towards the island. Ah, here's our first animals. The Gurgits. I knew we'd come across something sooner rather than later that wanted to eat us. And these giant Gurgits seem to fit that bill. Luckily, they're going down pretty easy. I did double check. Tallara is level 22. The rest of the gang is level 21, by the way, if you were wondering. That's sort of our end game levels, is in the low 20s. We should be okay for this area, which was a recommended level of 20, but I'm sure we will definitely come across some difficult encounters. The Gurgits weren't exactly difficult, but I'm not going to write off the Frostback Basin yet. Regardless, I think this must be the fishing village that was mentioned to us. So let's see if there's anyone here who can give us information. Seems rather quiet. Is there anybody home? Hello? This.
What is this? Are the fishers of Stone Bear Hole too rude to share a meal with friends? Can the jaws of Hakkon not catch their own fish?
The Inquisitor! Let her blood bathe the blades of the jaws of Hakkon!
Oh!
Death to the lowlanders!
Okay.
Glory to Hakkon!
So it looks like they are not only feuding amongst themselves, but they really hate me. I was here for 2 seconds. The Hakkonites noticed me. And well, then they had to die. What was that all about?
The jaws of Hakkon should like us much. What'd we do this time?
That's what I was wondering,
Perhaps the
Bull.
friendlier Avar in the village Harding mentioned can shed some light.
That's what I hope. Fisherman Arvid, are you friendlier?
You are the lowlander they call Inquisitor. I am Arvid Rolfson. Well fought. The fish will feed on fool's heart wine this night. I know not what brings you here, but we have no quarrel, you and I.
How long have you been here?
How long have you lived in the basin?
Stone Bear Hole's been here a few generations. I was born further north, but we left before I could remember. It was a good life, until the jaws of Hakkon arrived. They brought trouble with them. People are expecting a raid, but
You don't agree?
they seem bigger fools than that, for all their boasting. I cannot say what they plan, but it bodes ill.
May I borrow a boat?
I find myself in need of a boat. I need to reach that island.
The Lady's Rest.
What?
That island belongs to the Lady of the Skies. The spirits want us to leave it be.
Of course they do.
It's important I go there.
I don't wish to disturb your lady, but it's important.
If I give you the boat, and you anger the spirits and die, other lowlanders may come for blood. That is trouble for my hold, and not my trouble to take. Go to Stone Bear Hole and speak with my Thane, Svara Sunhair. Get her blessing. And you may sail to Korth's Rocky Heart, if you wish.
Okay. Guess we're gonna have to jump through a few more hoops before we can get out to the island. Now we're gonna go speak with the Avar leader, which honestly I'm fine with, because hopefully we can get a bit of information about these people versus the Jaws of Hakkon and what their differences are. I mean, I don't know if that fisherman sort of represents all of the Avar in this area, but he was very much level-headed, calm, reasonable. So if the rest of the Avar around here are like that, then we'll be fine. Wow. Look how beautiful this is. You can see the water, the color of the setting sun. This area is absolutely gorgeous. Colors of the foliage. So beautiful. Alright, looks like my mini-map is leading me this way. Ah yeah, there's some torches and stuff, so presumably we're heading somewhere. Yes, this looks right. Aha, I see some people up ahead. Hello there. They are not interested in talking with me. Alright, I'll leave you alone. Wow, oh, there's a ton of people in here. Okay, so this is Stone Bear Hold. Greetings.
Catch anything today? Nothing yet. Too many visitors.
Sounds like a party. Or a fight.
Looks like a rock climbing competition.
Your climbers seem tired, Thane Son. Oh, hunting. Is your hold beast well?
We hunt as well as ever, Thane Harrison.
You would be safer under the shield of the jaws of Hakkon.
Hask Fisherson has taken victory in sight of the Lady of the Skies. Pav, you owe 4 rams to Hask, not 3.
Tear his tits.
Wind, lift your oaths to the Lady of the Skies, and hand the rams over come sunrise.
May your people be as strong as your hold beast.
Interesting. Alright, so there was some sort of competition going on here between the clans. A rock climbing competition. You must be the leader, Svara Sunhair.
We've heard of your arrival, lowlanders. Come, share my fire where we might speak.
Thank you. Wow, everyone is so polite around here.
Inquisitor, I am Svara Sunhair, Thane of Stonebear Hold. You have guest welcome here. Few of our people have ever seen a Kunari. It is pleasing not to have to look down while we talk. You and your people have come far from the safety of the lowlands.
I was going to mention that when we spoke to the fisherman, actually, but I wasn't sure if, you know, he was just an outlier, but it seems like, yeah, the Avar are all very tall people. The fisherman we talked to was literally the same height as me, and she just made that comment then about talking to the Kunari, so clearly they're great in stature, similar to me and Bull. I'm just so surprised at how welcoming they are. I figured, you know, if they live in such a remote area and are sort of live secluded lives, I figured they would be very hostile to visitors, but again, knock on wood, so far so good. We're doing okay. Duty brought us here.
We have come on a mission. We have learned that the last Inquisitor may have died here hundreds of years ago. We seek his body. Giving peace to the dead is a worthy quest. Any help we can offer is yours. Sadly, the jaws of Hakkon will not offer so warm a welcome. You have met their Thane, Gerd Harrison. I wager you have crossed blades with the jaws of Hakkon in the wilderness. If you would search this place for your Inquisitor's body, they will want you to pay in blood.
Okay, tell me more about the jaws of Hakkon.
I'd like to know more about the jaws of Hakkon. They are not the first hold to take that name. All have been foolish. What would you know of them?
Why are they hostile?
What do the jaws of Hakkon believe that makes them so angry? A wise man honors each god to its strength. Bjorn Reedbeard for fishing, Rilla of the Fireside for making babies. The Hakkonites care only for Hakkon Wintersbreath, god of war and winter. There is no evil in Hakkon. There are times to fight, but the jaws of Hakkon care for nothing else. They raid, they fight. Eventually they die and their stories are forgotten. It is the way of things.
Okay, interesting. So it's nothing personal. They just really like to fight. Tell me more about the recent group.
What can you tell me of the people now calling themselves the Jaws of Hakkon? They came here a few years ago, after the Blight took their hold. There was land enough for both, so we were friendly. We did not see their anger. Gerd Harrison lost too many in his hold to Darkspawn. He thought only of battle and war. To avenge a wrong is a good thing, but only a fool lights the world on fire to do it.
That's wise words.
I'll speak with you later. Walk with the lady's blessing.
Okay, I actually have a ton more stuff to ask her about.
Inquisitor?
What was that climbing contest about?
When I first entered your hold, there was a climbing contest of some sort. What was that? The test of the lady. We use it to settle disputes when it is not clear who has the right of it. There are others. For the test of the Mountain Father, you battle with verse while those who favor you hold you aloft. The test of Hakkon is battle, with blunted weapons.
Seems reasonable, I guess.
It seems as fair a way as any to decide such matters. In many cases, the law is clear. The tests are only for real disputes. As Thane, I may guide the gods in finding who is worthy. I decide which test will settle the dispute. I may also ask a warrior whose claim is foolish to climb with stones strapped to his back.
Interesting. Okay, last bit of questions. Tell me more about your hold, Stonebear Hold.
I'd like to hear more about Stonebear Hold. We are not the largest hold, but our warriors are strong, and our singers are pretty. Ah, words are for boasting around the fireside. You should look yourself, if you will.
Okay. Anyway, on to why I'm really here. I need a boat.
I was told I needed your permission to borrow a boat from the fisherman. Bah, Rolfson. He worries like a scared baby goat. The boat is yours. Tell him I said so.
Well, that was easy. Do you plan to fight the Hakkonites?
The Hakkonites are attacking my people. I would welcome any assistance you could offer. Bathing my blade in the blood of the Hakkonites would be cause for a feast for most in this hold. The Hakkonites are fools, and they have forgotten the old ways. But we have pledged peace with them. To attack with lowlanders at our side would make us oathbreakers. This is poor weather for me to ask that of my hold.
I mean, fair enough. Could I change your mind?
I understand your concern. Is there anything I could do to help? Among the Avar, a hold draws strength from its hold beast. They are as kin to us. When our hold beast is strong and happy, there is joy. When it sickens and dies, it is an ill omen. Our bear, Storvacker, has not been seen in days. The hold fears for her. I cannot ask the hold to break peace oaths unless Storvacker returns.
Okay, keep an eye out for her then.
I'll speak with you later. Ask those in the hold about Storvacker. They may know something they have not told me.
Okay, so we got the permission to use the boat, and we may have an in with some potential allies. First, we're going to read their mail, though. Thane Svar Sunhair. This appears to be an unfinished letter. The handwriting is simple, and the text has many phrases crossed out. Lowlanders, if you be brave enough to... Orlesians, if you be brave enough... Merchants of Orlais, if... To those who wish to trade with Stonebear Hold, you should know me. I am Thane Svara Sunhair. I am Thane Svara, Jane's known as Sunhair, though my blade has tasted battle tears, though my blade has tasted blood, though I have fought many battles, I wish no conflict between us, but instead trade between our hold and yours. We have furs and leathers that put your lowland hides to shame, plus weapons that have tasted Hakkon's winter. Interesting, okay. She's trying to make contact with other civilizations and establish trade. I actually find that very endearing. She was trying to find the perfect words to do so. Okay, so we need to go back to the fisherman now and tell him we can give him permission to use his boat.
For the last time, not everyone in the Imperium is a Magister.
But they do pretty much hand out seats like they're candy.
Yes, but it's that black licorice candy with salt on it.
Ugh.
Not the good kind.
Not the good kind, indeed. A bit of party banter there. I don't see anybody who wants to talk to us about the bear. No? No one's interested in talking about your bear? What is this? Whoa! Oh my god, there are a lot of meats hanging from the ceiling. This is, a little unnerving. Sketches found in a meat shop. A series of drawings, simple but artfully rendered, indicates that the owner of this meat shop decided to spend the day mixing alchemical potions, or, more likely, alcoholic drinks, and that people should take what they like and pay him later. Okay. Okay, we've got meats aplenty in here. What is this? Look at this big head. On Avar cuisine. What is thrown into the Avar's cookpots? What isn't? Far from the delicate creams and sauces of Valroyo, or the rich pies and ripe cheeses beloved in Ferelden, the Avar must subsist on whatever their mountain valleys provide. Nothing is too humble for their appetites, from the small succulent snails found on hillside boulders to fern fiddleheads harvested in the spring. This is not to say the Avar do not dine on more dangerous, but far more filling fare. Harts, rams, gurgits, and lurkers are all candidates for communal evening meals taken around the fire. Lowlander spices, while not unknown, are great delicacies reserved for feasts. In fact, my parting gift to the Thane of Fennictooth Hold was, at his request, 10 jars each of black peppercorns, powdered mustard, and Antivan cordseed. Avar cooking methods favor utility. Stews are common because they can be simmered until nightfall with small fuss. Holds by lakes or rivers will wrap fish in clay and pungent leaves and leave it to bake all day over banked coals. Most Avar food preparation, however, centers around winter. From the spring thaw onward, the hold is an endless hive of activity as meat is smoked, vegetables are pickled, and fruits are dried and stacked in crude dirt cellars in preparation for the long dark. Despite this race against the seasons, the Avar freely leave out rich cuts of meat and piles of plump berries on wooden stone slabs around their village. They believe these offerings propitiate a strange collection of beings they refer to as gods inhabiting the forest. The wise traveler attempts not to judge, and I was treated with all care due to a guest, but I never became accustomed to the sight of good food left out by such a practical people. Interesting. See, this is what I love about the Dragon Age games, is the amount of thought and care that has gone into crafting these worlds, the amount of lore that's available. Like, if you want to know what the Avar people eat, you can know what the Avar people eat, you know? It's, the attention to detail is just absolutely fantastic. Looks like there's another store of sorts here. What is this place? Whoa. Hi, Trader Helsdim.
You're the one they speak about in the lowlands, aren't you? The Herald of Andraste.
Many call me that.
Helmsdim Rolfson. I trade our goods outside the hold. You'll not find better this side of the mountain.
You've been to the lowlands?
Have you traveled outside of Stonebear Hold?
Course Mountain Father provides. But press us, and we'll admit there's lowlander goods we can't craft ourselves. I sell our goods there. The old trader taught me how to read and write, and how to act in your cities.
Which cities have you visited?
Where does your trading take you?
Denerim and Southreach in Ferelden. Leeds and Verchet in Orlais. When the passes are clear, I take our wares to Val Royeaux.
Val Royeaux's a bit far.
Surely you can get a fair price for your goods closer than Val Royeaux.
Ah, well, that's truth, but have you seen it? My heart lies with the Hold, but I'll die remembering the light on the gates of the sun.
I mean, Val Royeaux is stunning. I can't deny it.
One of the most beautiful cities in the world.
Everyone thinks I'm mad when I speak of Orlais. They believe I make half of it up. As if I could dream up those fountains and palaces, and those frilly little cakes. Most in the Hold call any city outside the mountains prideful or lowlander folly.
Alright, well, it was good speaking with you.
Farewell.
Another time.
Okay. Anyway, it's been nice to look around the Hold a little bit and see the Avar way of life, but I am going to head back down the mountain now and return to Fisherman Arvid. See if we can borrow his boat now.
You know I caught him down there after. His face went as red as a sunburnt nut.
Nuts don't sunburn, you fool.
Well, if they did, Arvid would have looked just like one.
I don't doubt that.
I'm standing right here.
Hi, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah?
Now can I use your boat?
Thane Sunhair gave me guest welcome at Stonebear Hold.
Aye, she sent word.
As a guest, then, may I please borrow your boat?
We would be poor hosts to refuse. The boat is yours. I hope you come back alive.
I mean, me too, but thanks. Okay, we've got a boat, so now we can take it to this mysterious island and see what we can find out here. Perhaps the remains of the old Inquisitor. Here we are. Alright, so we sailed across. If you look all the way over there, you can see the fisherman's village. Who is...
Anybody else smell sea air and spice? That isn't right.
Your mind is being influenced by the spirits here. They're drawing sorrow from you like you draw water from a well.
Glad I asked.
Okay, so that explains the voice we heard. This island is haunted by spirits. I was just trying to say we didn't come very far. You can see the fisherman's house back there. We just came literally across the lake. Right, there's definitely something going on
I
here.
could do without all the demons, boss. Anytime you want to leave is fine by me.
We just got here, Bull. Take in the sights. Oh, there's the spirits. Something bad happened here. If all these spirits are trapped, they're talking. Whoa! Mark on my hand just lit up. We've got a straight up Fade Rift in here.
We're not going to leave that rift here, right?
We may as well open it and close it properly. Stop all these spirits.
Tallara slept. I slept. To find him in dreaming. But the blood. She's gone. Tallara wanted to reach Ameridan again. One more time. But she couldn't. I couldn't. I died. I tried to stay, but only pieces came through. You opened the sky for the rest of me.
What is this?
What are you talking about? Where is Ameridan?
Ameridan? Yes. Inquisitor. Beloved. She came with Ameridan to hunt the dragon.
dragon.
Huge. Power like none had seen. It came from the mountains with the Avar. Towns fell. All dead. One last favor for Emperor Draken. Slay the Avar dragon. Save Orlais.
Interesting. So he was on a mission.
This wasn't just a hunt. Inquisitor Ameridan was here on orders from Emperor Draken.
Yes. A secret. Drawn by the dragon. Tallara. I didn't want to, but where Ameridan goes, I go. They fought at the shore. Spirits and magic. Cold. So cold. How I found her. How she found us. They rested here. Then up the river. Metal spires. A way to stop the dragon. Then Tallara returned here, alone, to wait for him. Forever waiting. Dreaming. Then dead.
You can rest now.
We'll find Ameridan. You don't have to wait here anymore.
Thank you. It was hard. She went a long time ago. I stayed because she asked. Her things are there. She wanted them found.
Okay, so it looks like we found the body of Ameridan's lover, who had been waiting for him to return. She had a really cool bow on her, and an Aegis of the Rift that unlocks the Aegis of the Rift ability, which turns the veil itself into a magical shield that deflects enemy projectiles. Nice. We also have Ameridan's orders. Ancient document protected in a scroll case. Whoever reads this message, let it be known that the bearer, Inquisitor Ameridan, commander of the Seekers of Truth, travels to the Frostback Basin on the official request of His Divine Majesty Cordilis Draken, Emperor of Orlais, upon business vital to the safety and security of this most holy empire, and that he and those who travel with him are to be afforded every service, rendered every assistance, and extended every courtesy in their efforts to protect Orlesian lives from threats both magical and mundane. Oh, crap. Whew.
Hey, you alright?
Yeah, I'm alright. My mark just came to life there. But we did get a new ability, the Aegis of the Rift. Which is cool. Like how Varric's like standing on this single piece of wood. Alright, well, Professor Kenrick is going to be very interested in this. An artifact, an ancient letter from the Emperor himself to the First Inquisitor. First, we got a little book here, Unfallen Shack. Many explorers in ancient ruins report finding homes, furniture, or even tools that look a few years old at most. Before the more learned study of spirits and the Fade made available by the Circles, scholars often assumed that such structures must be new contamination of an older site, leading to much misinformation and misunderstanding regarding the movement of various peoples in ancient Tevinter and even earlier. Our brothers and sisters in the Circles of Magi have given us a more likely answer. In areas where the veil is thin, spirits engrossed by a particular event may endeavor to preserve the feeling of the area, by preserving, in their own imperfect way, some or all of the area itself. The hut of a legendary apostate may appear to have been abandoned for a few decades, with crumbling walls and dust, even when it is fact from a previous age or even older. Spirits scratching at the edges of the veil have scared away the vermin that would have chewed through the beams, and the plants whose snaking tendrils would have reclaimed the stones for the forest. It is the recommendation of the committee that all university-sanctioned historical expeditions include a mage for consultation upon such matters. Only in this way can we avoid the embarrassing missteps of our forebears and bring Orlais the true knowledge it deserves. This is a letter from the University of Orlais Historical Committee to Empress Celine asking for support. The request was tabled after the start of the Mage Rebellion. Alright, so I guess we found out why people avoid this island. The connection to the veil was very thin here, and there were spirits, and oh, look! Look who decided to join us now that we've dealt with the spirits. The Hakkon decided to come over here. Holy crap, there's a lot of them too. This is straight up an ambush. Why do you guys hate me so much? Like, I get it, you love to fight, but this is, I don't know, man, this is feeling a little targeted. I'm sure there's lots of people for you to fight around here. Why are you picking me specifically? Feels a little rude, man. Alright, they're down. Let's get back to the shore and speak with Professor Kenrick and let him know what we learned. Okay, here we are back at the research outpost. Let's check in with Professor Kenrick. Show him the note and tell him what we learned after speaking with that spirit.
No Qunari would accept a Tevinter mage so easily, unless it was a ruse. When should I expect a knife in the back?
You expecting that from the Inquisitor too?
I was just about to say that.
Oh, pardon me. I thought you said no Qunari, meaning we're all bloodthirsty savages.
Fine. Not all of you.
Then I wouldn't worry. A lot of other people need a knife in the back first.
I love how even the party banter can change depending on, you know, your race or your class and that kind of stuff. I like how Bull acknowledges there that I'm a Qunari and Dorian's like, that's different. That was some cool dialogue. Another book here. There's been lots of reading today. Property of Colette. Pages of neatly written, painstakingly detailed notes fill a well-worn journal. The notes break midway through for a list. All the things she needs for her expedition to Frostback Basin. Okay, anyway, here is the professor.
May I help you, Inquisitor?
We've been to the island.
A spirit on the island held the memories and possessions of Ameridan's lover.
Well, would you
a
stand
woman
still?
Named Tallara. It told us that Ameridan was here on orders from Emperor Draken
Oh, now
himself,
Varric's doing his laps.
and where he went next.
Andraste's dimples. I may have received tenure from that sentence alone. Ameridan had a lover. Tallara, you said. The Inquisitor's Lady Mage. There was such debate over whether she existed. And there were orders? This was a request from Draken? This changes everything.
I like uncovering history. It's fun.
It's fascinating to find new evidence about these things. The spirit said to follow the river to the north. And something about spires or spikes.
Up the river, the scouts have had trouble with Hakkonites up there. I'll continue my research, but for now, your guess is as good as mine.
Okay, so what's our next step?
What do you need me to do next, Professor?
That spirit on the island said something about Ameridan going upriver to, someplace with spires? While you search upriver, I'll continue studying these buckles. That, sounded better in my head.
Alright, sounds good.
I'll speak with you later.
Alright guys, so we are hot on the Inquisitor's trail. Wow, I am only just noticing all the spooky statues that are in the professor's little hut here. But anyway, we've got a lead. We are on Ameridan's trail. And when we come back next time, we are going to follow the river and look for these supposed spires to see if we can figure out what happened to the guy. Either way, we found the trail, and I can't wait to continue it. So thank you everyone so much for watching today's episode. I appreciate you guys coming back even after we finish the main story of the game. We're just getting started in the Jaws of Hakkon DLC. I'm sure we'll still have a few more episodes of this one to go. So hopefully I'll see you guys back here again real soon as we continue to unravel some ancient mysteries of Thedas.